I've always thought about this. I watched the show Mindhunter, like obsessed with that show. Um, how they coined the term serial killer. Anyway, um, I always think like, damn, like these people are interviewing some extremely dangerous people. How like you fly to Idaho. I'm assuming that person was involved with that woman's disappearance. How do you feel when you go in and you're like, okay, I'm about to talk to someone that potentially did something absolutely terrible to someone? Like, how do you set that up in your mind? You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's so different, Corey, than when law enforcement is contacting someone they don't know. We, as
Ah,
the FBI, are contacting someone we do know, so we're able to look into their past. We're able to, kind of piece together some things, and uh, whether it's the woman in Idaho that held, her name is Crystal, or even if it's a Kimball going into prison, because that's where I get to interview Scott. You're going into prison. I'm in a little white room with him. I have one other person with me. Yeah, I might have a lot to lose, but with the Kimballs, with the Henthorns, and these others, they know that we are the ones that might be able to get them out
mhm.
if they tell us the right story.
Right.
So as soon as, and my job was to be a good listener,
Mm.
and if you're dealing with a narcissist, someone like Henthorn, I don't know if they labeled him as that or not in the show. I haven't watched it yet,
They did,
but
yeah.
that, you look at his job, we go back to him and his public persona. It's all about that. I went for a trip with my wife in South Carolina for our anniversary, and I saw some peacocks there, and I'm like, that's Harold.
Yeah.
With all the when all the feathers come up, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Look at me. And so if a narcissist and someone who's in a world of hurt sees law enforcement and believes they can manipulate me or whoever's in front of them,
Mhm.
then they'll talk all day long. I had a serial rapist, Mark O'Leary. They made a show called Unbelievable about him on Netflix because he was actually so good at what he did that law enforcement in Washington ended up charging one of his victims for false reporting when he had sexually assaulted her through an
What?
entire night. Yeah. But the reason I bring up O'Leary is Kimball had taught me this. Kimball's a narcissist too. He has to be the smartest person in the room. And the thing about him is he probably is. He's
Mhm.
quite a bit
Right.
smarter than I am. But as long as I would come in humbly to him and say, hey, Scott, and he would just blast me out of the room for the
Right.
first 10 minutes about Grusing, you promised me this. Grusing, you're a liar. Grusing, this. You said you do this. I'm not talking to you until this. And the person beside me, whether it's the warden or they're going, how can you let this guy treat you like this?
Right.
I'm like, well, just wait. And I don't do this in front of Scott, but this would be like in a break or something. I was like, it lasts 10 minutes. This, I'm better than you. I'm smarter than you. You better do what I'm telling you to. And then he talks to me for 3 hours. And it was the same thing with O'Leary. O'Leary was very nervous to talk to me. He was very sexually deviant. That's
Mhm.
even more than murder. To talk about your sexual deviancy, it's
Right.
scary for
Right.
Mark. But then once he knew that I wasn't going to judge him, once I told him how intelligent he was, which he's very intelligent too. He was military, using all his training on how to stalk women. And I said the profilers want to learn from you. I've been talking to them about you, Mark. And all that stuff is true, Corey. I'm not feeding them a lie.
Right.
And when they see that I really want to learn from them and that I'm not a threat to them and that they're smarter than me, I am very good. I don't think I have to play dumb. I just think I'm very good at being dumb, you know,
Right.
because they believe it every single time. But it's true. But we are all threatened by someone who either, talks down to us or thinks that they're smarter than us and whatever else. And besides Kimball, I haven't really met an evil person in 23 years of doing violent crime.